Welcome to Stone Barn Center for Food and Agriculture. I'm Jack Algier, here to share some information about beets from the field. As we look ahead, we see thousands of pounds of storage beets for us that will provide food throughout the winter in our cold storage. Now, beets are one of the great root vegetables that can handle a frost. In fact, this past week we've had a couple of small light frosts that have killed back most of the tender things like eggplants and peppers. The longer we leave these roots in the ground, the longer and the more flavor builds up in them to a certain point. When we get really deep freezes, then the plant starts to get affected and the root can get a little bit soft. But 30, even 28, 26 degree temperatures are fine for beets, especially this particular winter varieties like this Cylindra here. But we have several other varieties we really enjoy. Cylindra, though, is one that we really particularly like because it has high sugars, has a lot of nutrient to it, and these long cylindrical shape actually makes it a little bit easier to cut and to process at home. Boiling beets, cooking beets, roasting them, any sort of way here. This beet can be eaten shaved raw, but I think it actually is preferable if it's boiled or roasted in the oven to get the most flavor out of it. These beets do store really long. There's a few other varieties here that we can show you too. This one here is called a variety called Avalanche that has these nice, beautiful green leaves here. Of course, the leaves on beets are delicious and worth cooking and eating. Stems and leaves are all delicious and fresh. When we go into storage, we take off the greens and store the plants without their tops. That keeps them nice and firm and strong and allows them to last longer into the storage season. This other beet we have here is called Badger Flame. This is a really great new variety that was developed at University of Wisconsin by our friend Erwin Goldman. Badger Flame is unique among beets in that it has this very beautiful inside coloration, orange, gorgeous orange color, but also it has a really palatable flavor as a fresh beet. So if you're taking larger amounts of these things home with you, here's some tips to help you save these for yourself in your own home. The greens can be removed, which will help the beet last longer if you're not going to cook it quickly within the next week or so. So usually what we do is we'll take off the tops and just cut them just right across the top. You can even leave a little bit of the stem there, but really don't cut into the beet itself. And that way you can put them in a bag, a sealed bag, and put them in your crisper, and the beets will stay for quite a long time. They can stay for months in that cold temperature. We store our beets at 35 degrees and about 90% humidity, and we keep them dirty and all together in a bin in a large storage cooler. This allows these beets to be able to be stored as far into the season as March. And so you can kind of do that same thing on a mini scale in your refrigerator. If you decide you're going to leave them out, just make sure they're in a cool place in your home. The beets will over time desiccate a little bit different than a potato you might keep out or onions that you would keep out, and at more like 50 or 60 degrees. Beets should really be kept cooler and more humid and wrapped up in the crisper in your refrigerator. As far as the greens, you can cut those off and use those fresh, and they can also be saved the same way you might keep salad greens in a bag with some air in it in the cooler or in your crisper. So I encourage you to stock up on beets as we come into the season. Look for different varieties. Know that there are all kinds of beautiful varieties out there in the market, more than just round red. Of course, cylindrical, white, pink, orange, candy striped, all kinds of different very unique varieties that all have unique flavors, different types of greens, and something worth really exploring. So if you'd like to learn more about beets and other vegetables, you can check us out at our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or check us out on the web at stonebarncenter.org. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great week.